Notts County Talk, back with a bit of a different video. We decided to do a Q&A, so we've asked on all our social media platforms any questions that sort of our followers would like to ask us. We've got quite an array of questions. We've got about 11 or so questions that we're going to answer. Quite looking forward to this because it's something we've not really done before. So if it goes well and you like it, let us know, and we'll be sure to do more throughout the season. So first question. I'll go straight in with quite a tough one from Derek Flowers from Facebook. We'll hardly be there next season if we don't go up.
No.
Do you not reckon?
No.
I think the same. As much as I feel like it would be, you'd feel a bit hard done by, wouldn't you? I know he's had time and he's got his own squad now, but considering the stop-start motion of this season, it's hard for any manager to get the team going to the full sort of extent.
It is, but I do
agree with you, though.
Even if it was the exact same as last season, not do really, really well, end up in the playoff final, and then just have one poor performance in the playoff final. I can't see it happening. Then that's twice he's not been able to get them up for a playoff final. I can't see any scenario where if Notts don't go up, other than the season being cut short in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
that's the only way I can see it. If the season gets null and void for obvious reasons, then I think he would still be here whenever the new season would start. But no, I can't see it.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that one. So we'll skip straight on to the next question. We briefly said about null and void. So Mark Leach from Facebook said, do you think the season should be started null and voided and start again fresh in August, as it's the fourth break just that we've had this season from games being cancelled and the virus isn't going anywhere soon? Good points.
It's getting worse at the minute.
There's so many arguments for and against this one. So you've got, obviously, teams have been preparing for games all season. They've been preparing for it since teams in the National League have had a huge break in games to prepare for the season. They've signed players. Money's been spent on streaming and stuff like that. It would be a bit of an injustice, I think, to just null and void the season. We've just got to I think all they can really do is ensure it's as safe as can be, and the league need to implement something like two times a week they're getting tested or something like that.
To say how many breaks Notts have had, up until a couple of weeks ago, some teams were level on games played with Notts.
Yeah,
they played similar games, and I had a check yesterday, and now there's a gap starting to open up of 4 games with some teams. I mean, 4 games is a lot to make up. That's 2 midweek slots. Well, it's not. Yeah. It's 4 midweek slots because you still need to play the games that the other teams are playing. So
exactly,
it's getting a bit silly now. What hasn't helped at all is that, and it sort of happens around the leagues, but definitely in the National League, you play the same team just after Christmas. In the start of New Year. So with Kings Lynn, that was just because of COVID results, that was it.
Yeah.
That's 2 games gone. And it is getting...
It's sort of getting that way, I think. I think, if the next couple of weeks of games get postponed, unless they sort of prolong it or, I don't know. They've got to do something about it, really, haven't they?
Yeah, the saving grace.
They need to prolong the end date and then say, let's have like a few week break or something like that. But then you're just eating into pre-season, and Ardley said it. He won't have time to go on holiday then. So for me personally, the way it is now, I'd say I wouldn't null and void it because it's just a contractual nightmare in terms of everything. Like TV sponsorship.
To start again in August,
players.
It's ages away.
Like how many players' contracts will end sort of between now and the new season? It's just a nightmare.
Yeah, the saving grace for the National League is that with the Premier League, they've got players going to the Euros. The National League don't. So really, we know from last summer that because it's summer, the virus is less prevalent. Yeah. It's not everywhere. So if they have to finish it in summer, so be it. But I think the season will carry on unless something happens in the next 2 or 3 weeks, which means all games are called off. Because there are some managers in the Prem, Allardyce, Steve Bruce, calling for it. And that's when pressure gets on government to stop professional sport. But
definitely.
That's a tough question. That's a good one.
Yeah, no, I think for now, though, I think we both agree it should continue,
Yeah, definitely.
Right then, we'll go on to James from Instagram. Said, first memory for Notts. I'll let you go first.
Easy. The goal against Middlesbrough.
Yeah,
FA Cup.
That's one of my first memories as well.
Like it is genuinely my first memory in the Pavis. I was down that end of that side of the Pavis, and I just remember it looping in.
I was in the family stand. I was sat right behind it. We talked about it, didn't we, on one of the Christmas specials we did last year? Well, the year before now.
Easy.
Tony Scully whipped it in. Shauna was left stranded. I was going to say the exact same thing, so I'm trying to think of a different one.
But it is. It's my first. So
yeah, no, it's probably mine, to be fair, for standout. So you've pretty much hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah, definitely.
So fair play. We'll go from Will then, from our fan chats. He wanted to put a question forward. So, how far do you think Cal Roberts can climb up the pyramid?
Oh, that is a really good question.
Yeah.
Personally,
I think one thing that stands out for me, I've said it a couple of times throughout videos we've done previously. You know, the likes of him, and I think it was Ruben Rodriguez, have got set really high targets for themselves. Like, they were being interviewed, and I think Rodriguez said he wants to play for, was it Porto or Benfica? And Cal Roberts said he wants to play for England one day. I think if you have those aspirations and you've got that drive, there's nothing stopping you. We know that he's got a good ability because he was on the bench for Newcastle not that long ago, and you just see it on the bigger stages in most games. He's the standout player, isn't he?
Yeah, if at the age those two players are at, like, they're not old, but they're not very young. You need to be ripping it up in the league you're in currently, ripping it up. Because if you're just playing well, you've probably got another league in you. You need to be ripping it up. Now, Roberts, when he's fit, rips the league up, and he has a laugh with players, takes 3 or 4 on in a go. Yeah. Rodriguez, I can't make a comment on because he's not settled fully yet.
He's he's still in like transition mode, I think, coming from a different country.
But with Roberts, he's ripping up the National League, so that tells me he could easily go into League Two. And I think if he's in a good team in League Two, he's fine in League Two. I think he could go to League One, possibly Championship. I think
he could push Championship.
I don't think it'd be top of the table.
It's hard to call because realistically, even when he was at Newcastle, he never played in any like big games, and he's only played for Blythe Spartans, who are below us in terms of leagues, and played for us. But you know, when you look across our whole team, he's probably our best player, isn't he?
Oh yeah, when he's playing, he's unbelievable.
Yeah. But, so I think it's all about development in football. Where he's at now, if I had to say, I'd probably say Championship. But if he develops further and, you know, gets to the right team or the right coach or whatever like that, you can go anywhere as far as he wants to go, I think.
At the minute, for me, he's top level League Two or second half of League One standard right now.
Yeah, that's it.
And this injury, whilst it's not good for Notts or good for Roberts, kind of means that he's not going to be going anywhere in January, I don't think. So it gives him a whole second season with actually more games to play than other teams with Carl Roberts. So I think, Championship, mid-Championship player.
Yeah, that's fair. We agree on that one as well.
At the minute,
we'll go to next question then. K Henton7 from Instagram said, if you could sign any player, past or present, who would it be?
I think we split that into realistic and unrealistic.
Go on then.
Yeah.
Unrealistic.
Unrealistic, well, it's easy, isn't it? It's, where is it? Hang about.
It's not R9, is it? Got to be on it.
Pride of place.
Yeah, it has to be.
If it's unrealistic, it's for me the greatest player there's ever been. If he wasn't injured, he'd be absolutely ridiculous. So
he'd be the best, yeah.
R9 for me. I think I could have done all right at Notts, you know.
Yeah, definitely. He'd have done all right, I think.
He'd have been good.
No, you know what? I was going to say R9 as well. We're agreeing on everything. This looks really, really staged, but it's not. I was going to say R9. Go on. Realistic. Go for realistic.
John Akinde when he was at Barnet.
John Akinde. Yeah. No, that's a sharp.
Bagsman. I think he would have worked well for Notts.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think here. Realistic signing for Notts.
It's one of those where you've seen loads of players play and we've probably turned to each other and said, I'd love to see him at Notts. And
yeah.
He's
definitely. Do you know one signing I did kind of want to see, but it's not a massive like realistic one. Christian Pearce, because 2 seasons ago he's in EFL Team of the Season.
He's left Solihull now.
Yeah, he's a good player. I quite like Christian Pearce, but obviously he's at the latter stages of his career.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him for a realistic signing, but R9 Ronaldo every day.
John Akinde, I strongly believe should have looked at when he was at Barnet, and he's been at Lincoln, so he's not actually too far away from Nottingham. Absolute unbelievable goal scorer at non-league.
Who was that fullback Barnet had as well? It was murmurs of a signing him.
Akinola,
that was it. Yeah, He wouldn't have been a bad signing.
He wouldn't have been a bad signing. That's another good question. Got me thinking, but I always stray towards Akinde. Really like him.
He also asked what our favourite Notts memory was. I've got loads. Like, predominantly a lot of my early Notts memories are Mark Stallard. Even the song. There's only one Mark Stallard. I'm not going to sing the whole song. I remember him keeping us up on the final day and storming on the pitch. That was really up there. But I'm going to go for the generic. For my generation anyway. Neil Bishop's goal against Man City at home.
Yeah.
Eruptions.
Yeah. Do you know what? I know that it shouldn't be a fond memory, but it's not my favourite by a long shot. But the fans against Swindon when we knew we were down.
Yeah. No, that was like a special moment. That was.
Yeah,
we knew we were down and everyone was still singing.
Yeah. Just looked around at all the fans. That's a big memory. It reminds you of the club you support. And how good the fans can be. When the inevitable has happened, and
still behind the team.
Really,
that's a shout, to be fair. Ben Dawson asks, favourite Notts goal. I've just gone over mine. Bishop against City. Can you pluck any more out? Tell you what, Stefan Oakes scored a few screamers. Can you remember them?
Yeah.
We had like 3 kicks just past the halfway line, and he scored. He scored 2 in one game.
I know it's not my favourite, but it's very recent. How often do you see a player for Notts score from the halfway line?
Yeah, Doyle. Yeah, no, you never.
In a game that had 1,000 fans, it was freezing. People had thought FA Trophy, I'm not going to bother. Some people had left at that point. So I don't know how many were left in the ground. Maybe 600, 700.
Yeah.
To see a goal from the halfway line, it's literally like one in, I don't know what, but it's an unbelievable thing to actually see, and it was executed so well as well. That's an unbelievable goal for me. I'm trying to think if there's any more.
I'd agree with you.
There are just there's so many. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Doyle. I think hard off the top of your head, but the Bishop one.
Yeah, it is hard off the top of your head. Yeah,
the Bishop one does stand out. But,
Ben Dawson also asks favourite game, Notts game you've ever been to. I've got so many, but like recent. You always go back to recent because you can remember the emotion of how you felt, and it's still quite raw. So, Barrow away last season was right up there for me.
Yeah,
what a game! Like we were travelling up there thinking like how much we're going to lose by today, sort of thing.
Saw the team announced.
Been so dominant.
Team wasn't.
We saw the team announced. It was like 3 at the back again. It was 5 at the back or whatever it was. It was like, oh, what's he done that for? It turned out to be a tactical masterclass.
Yeah, again, you got to go down to right back to the Middlesbrough game. That's one of my early ones.
We've played a few big teams and beat them, though, haven't we? Like, I think we played Wigan when they were in the Prem at one point and beat them, didn't we? Or they were in the Championship.
Just so many.
Newcastle. We've played loads of teams like that. That's my favourite game anyway. It's got to be. Tom Sissons asked from Instagram, where will Notts finish this season? I think that's the most difficult question we've got.
Second.
I think it's almost impossible to say.
I think it's second.
In terms of a position, I'd like to say second, but we've not shown any sort of consistency. Yeah, we've looked good and dominant in games and we've not won them, but is that going to be our sort of weakness this season? So I'm going to say playoffs, but I don't know. I just don't think we can finish second.
I'd like to say first.
I would love to say first.
Torquay,
I just can't really see it at the moment.
Torquay would have to collapse.
Bananas,
Absolutely collapse. Like, not just go on a bad run. They would have to play their under 10s in every game.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you look at Barrow last season, it started happening to them, didn't it? They were falling off a bit, but obviously
I'm not sure exactly the stats, but I think Torquay are further ahead than Barrow were at this point.
Are they?
Quite a lot.
Yeah, scary.
They're literally,
well.
what are they, 16 odd points ahead of Notts? I know we've now got 3 games in hand, but that's a long way. Like, we've got to win those games in hand. I can see not so the best team in the league on paper easily. Like, I'm not even being cocky because this is a Notts channel.
We've discussed it before, though, haven't we? Where we've said that you look at every game we're going into it, we're thinking we've got to win this. We can win this.
We've got the best winger in the league in Roberts. Got the best centre mid in the league probably in Reeves. Got one of the other best centre mids in Doyle.
Yeah,
we've got one of the best centre backs in Alex Lacey when he's fit.
Yeah.
Some of the best fullbacks. Like, it's just the best team, but I think it's gone now. Torquay are long gone for me.
Yeah, no,
hope I'm wrong.
I'd agree with you. Tough question, that. Really hard, because the way that it's gone for us so far, obviously we're in the middle of a break now, is why we're doing this Q&A. So go on to the next one. Ruthka. Will Graham be able to show his quality with Turner being out?
No,
I don't think he will either.
He won't play him.
No, I hope he does. And I think there is going to be a lot of rotation anyway over the latter parts of the season if it does go ahead. But Lacey will be fit by then, I think.
The only problem is, I think Graham's an amazing defender. And I think he could come in and he could literally... We could win a game 1-0 and he clear it off the line, make a last-ditch tackle, get man of the match, and I still think he'd be dropped next game. I think Ardy just sees him as a rotation player for like cup games or whatnot. I think he's really good, and I think it would take more injuries and suspensions to get him in the team. I hope I'm wrong because he's obviously quality. Look where he's come from, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you. We've got a question here from a Sutton United fan page saying, do Notts have the strength to make it to the playoff final again?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, we just said that we can see him finishing playoffs.
100%. They're definitely going to get to the playoff final. I feel like, I don't know what happened against Harrogate because Notts were storming it. We battered Barnet. I don't know what happened, but I can definitely see Notts making the playoff final. And whether it would affect them what happened last year or fire them up, I don't know. But maybe it could be against Sutton. You never know. They're doing all right.
Maybe, yeah. Well, they're a good side. They're up there as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Final question then. Max from Twitter has asked, what game would you like to have gone to this season? I think he means like the entirety of the season, not like so far.
Well, yeah, we're not going to get to go to a game this season now, are we?
No, I don't. There's a few games we had in mind that we really wanted to go to, aren't they, in terms of away games?
I know exactly what I'm going to pick, where I would like to have gone, because I didn't get to go last season because it was cut short.
I know what you're going to say.
Wrexham away.
Wrexham, yeah. I was going to say Wrexham as well.
Yeah, 100%.
But
I was going to...
Wrexham is a place I wanted to go for the reason of, the big team. Obviously, a lot has gone on this season with them, where they've got big investors and from Hollywood.
You saw their fans last season at Notts. Very good.
Yeah. Huge following. Bootlegger as well. Would have been nice to bump into him again.
Yeah. After last time I missed.
Yeah.
Also Stockport. We were going to go to Stockport last season.
Yeah. Stockport as well. So it's sort of the bigger sides. But we were going to try and actually go to Wildston as well. I wouldn't mind that. So there's 3 games there. So we've got Wrexham, Stockport, and Wildston.
Just any game back at Med Lane as well.
Yeah.
just sitting in the Pavis. It will come around. It will come.
I can't believe how much I'm cherishing the Ilkeston game.
Yeah, I missed that as well.
The pre-season friendly. I can't believe how much I enjoyed watching it.
I haven't seen Notts live, probably like most fans, since the 4-0 against Eastleigh, which is unbelievably coming up to. It's not that far off a year, and it will be a year.
Crazy.
At some point.
Yeah.
Madness.
That's it anyway. That is all the questions. Quite enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, some really great questions. Yeah, really good. Made me think, put me on the spot. If you did enjoy or have any other questions, we'll keep them written down somewhere. So if you have any more, post them in the comment section below. Look out for any more videos. Fingers crossed we have a match preview coming out later this week, but obviously with what's going on at the minute, you just never know. And thank you for watching.